All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sideshow. My name is Mingo.
This is Tony.
My name's Sebastian.
And, man, so many things have happened since the last time we spoke. We got a new president.
I'm riding with Biden.
Right? We got a new president. The old one won't concede. But sooner or later, well, even Biden said, we have people that'll take him out if you don't want to leave.
That's right.
Drag him out by his nappy one.
As he says, he's just embarrassing himself. But at this point,
Yeah.
By the hinge of his toupee, drag his ass out of there.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was a hairy couple of days watching the numbers. I got stuck, dude. I got to admit, I was stuck because I started watching it that night, election night, and me and Sebastian all proud that we went and dropped off our first ballots and shit. You know what I mean? And then we're sitting there and we're watching it, and it's like, oh man, it's getting close. And then it hinged.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And then it was slow moving after that.
it was just like, how could this be happening? How is it so close?
Yeah, that's the disappointing part.
And what's funny is that what's Bernie Sanders called it, that this was going to be, and exactly how he said that it was going to play out is what it's been. And calling like, the post office moves slow, and you know what, but it had to be postmarked by a certain day. But if they were in the box, in one of the blue boxes, or dropped off at the what do you call it, one of the centers, you have to count them.
Just real quick, my old lady works at the post office, so shout out to the post office. Don't bring them down in any way.
I don't think that's where he was
Tony,
going to
No,
go.
he said the mail was slow.
Tony, I ain't fucking
He's
with your
like, the mail's
retirement
already
sign.
so-
We cool?
Emails messing everything up for us.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah?
Let's buy them postage stamps, people.
Send out real.
There you go.
Christmas cards.
There
right?
you go. Yep.
You know what? Just to help you guys, I'm gonna send Christmas cards this year.
And invites. No more evites.
Oh, fuck that! All the invites are right here over the airwaves, dude.
I'm gonna text everybody. It's way too easy.
Right? Yeah.
But back to this new president we have going on. Have you seen the montages of the left, mainly Fox News, of course? They're replaying all the things they said in 2016 about Hillary, about how the Democrats are going to cry foul, and the Democrats are saying that we're trying to find votes,
right?
And it's just exactly what they're saying now, but it was reversed in 2016. It's the funniest thing in the world.
It's funny as shit that all these Trump supporters are doing exactly what Democrats were doing back in 2016.
But you know what's funny is that, but that's what's wrong with this democratic process, though, is that it's all the same every year, and you just have people that are better at playing it. Like when Trump first came out, like he was really, really manipulative, really, really good. And over 3.5 years, people have figured out, hey, this dude, he fucking bamboozled me. Right? Like, it's like having that girlfriend, and then after a while you're like, hey, this is a give and take relationship, but you're not giving, you're just taking. You know what I mean? Like it hits you. And I think that's kind of what's happened with Trump. He's at the end of his rope, and everybody's kind of like, and even the people that were around him are kind of like turning their back. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Very slowly, though. It's a snail.
Very reluctantly,
right now.
Well, I think the reason why though is because he's been known as a businessman, and he still probably has a lot of strong ties to a lot of very wealthy people.
Yeah, well, not only that, what they're saying is, I mean, he still has his base that follows him.
Right.
So nobody running for office in the next few years is going to go up against him.
Right. And they're saying he may come back in 2024.
Yeah, I also heard that he probably won't, because he doesn't want to take the chance on losing, because that's his big thing.
Yeah, he wants to save face.
Yeah, it's like he can't be a loser. I mean, he is now.
He can be, yeah.
Yeah, there's two big things that are going to hinge on that. Either what Biden does in his term.
Right.
And
well, speaking of that, I mean, they're saying he's only going to do 4 years because of his age. So, and
if he does 4 years,
yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't see Camilla stepping up to the plate and people voting for her.
She scares me, though. I'll be honest. She scares me. I don't. I like my guns, and I like. She scared the shit out of me, dog. For real.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that that high capacity mag reverse is what's going to be important. That's
our saving grace.
That's what's going to hinge on. That's what this fight is going to hinge on. Is that they overturned it and deemed it constitutional or unconstitutional, the ban on him.
Right. Well, hopefully that'll stick. And
do you think if Biden chooses not to run again, do you think that she would step up and try to be the main player, or do you think they'd find somebody else to still keep her at number 2?
I think AOC might try.
Nah, she's a little too young. Don't get me wrong.
At the time,
it'll be a while before, but she'll probably have her come ups.
Yeah. She scares the shit out of me too, but I like her. I like her feistiness, and I like that she's fearless. She may not always give her message across the right way.
Right.
Kind of like Trump, but you know what I mean? But she's a lot more eloquent and a lot better suited for the position, I think, than Trump.
She's got a much better vocabulary, that's for sure.
Very articulate. Mm-hmm. There's a conspiracy theory that says that they're going to impeach Biden because of his age and all that to push Camilla into the number 1 spot.
Really? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah. They've been talking about that.
Well,
That's part of Pelosi's plan.
There were a lot of people that said they voted for Biden because of his vice president.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's based on the same thing of his age. He's just old.
Yeah, he is. And that's the other thing about they're saying about Trump in 4 years, he's going to be the same age Biden is now. So that's another.
Dude, his hair wasn't yellow anymore. Today in the thing, it was white. Did you notice?
He was a lot darker though too. He was in that booth for a little longer than normal.
I'm sad. Keep it going.
Hopefully, it's a spray tan, and he's not getting into one of them actual booths.
Look at the line around his face. He looks like Hannibal.
Like somebody doesn't know how to.
It's just orange on the front, and then on the side you can see how white he is.
And actually, sometimes you'll see like the raccoon eyes.
Yeah,
because those little caps they put on their eyes.
But they're not dark circles.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. That dude's still got way too many ties everywhere to count him out about anything. But it'll be nice to see, what they really do in the 100 days. I think their first 100 days are going to dictate a lot of what their candidacy will be. Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially
that's why it's called the first 100 days.
The concentration is going to be on the COVID issue,
right?
Yeah,
and the way he's handling it, even now, he's doing a great job.
Bounds, yeah.
So it's like
Well, they're calling it. Oh God, what did he say? So today. So I guess when Pfizer came out and said that they had a cure, somebody from the White House leaked out, said, it was because of Trump and the money that Trump gave to these companies to come up with a vaccine. And the CEO of Pfizer said, fuck that.
Yeah.
They didn't give us shit. Right?
Well, actually, is that the company that they said they weren't taking money because they didn't want it in any way being a political
correct issue?
Yeah,
and that's Pfizer. Solution? That's the ones that make that little blue pill. So imagine if they get confused with the vaccine. Holy shit.
Gotta be hard times.
But you hear that vaccine? One of them is the one that comes in two parts, that it has to be kept in like 90 below 0 degree temperatures.
Really?
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, they said it's gonna have to get packed in dry ice.
Yeah, so that's where you have to go somewhere to take it. You can't have that.
Yeah, but if it's got to be?
Don't ask me. But
how do they give it to you? How do they?
That's what I'm saying. You have to go somewhere, and right from the
freezer,
from the ice they ask, because they're going to give it to you in the fucking. What are those things called? The suppository.
Oh,
put it right up your little culito. Said, melt that down, mister. Mr. COVID.
But yeah, they're saying it's like 90 degrees below zero is got to be kept.
God damn. And it doesn't freeze.
That I don't know.
It's like alcohol.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's like alcohol doesn't freeze.
At 90 below, alcohol gotta freeze. No? It's gotta.
No.
I believe that'd be
Scientifically, alcohol will not freeze.
And I'm guesstimating the 90 degrees below.
Okay,
Maybe it's 50.
It's
But
like
no,
9
it's a
degrees
shit.
below.
Right?
Hey, yo, it's a shit. Oh, damn. It's a lot below zero.
Dude, you can cuss so good.
I know, but
It's a personal I got you. You just come sit in this little room with all these heathens
Right.
and go home cussing up a storm.
Right? Animals!
Either way, what's funny is, and people called it, and Trump called it, that, as soon as the election's over, that we'll have a vaccine.
Yep.
It's all going to go away. Well, imagine fucking that, right? But today during his speech, he said that no, we did give him 145 million or 1.45 million, and that it was just an unfortunate mistake that the people from Pfizer said what they said.
Yeah, he's part lying.
There's also a huge difference between 145 million and 1.45.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. Either way, fucking anything over a million, fuck. You add 45 to it, that's great. But if it was just 1.45, okay. Nobody's gonna be mad at that. You know what I mean? Pfizer or not, shit. That's crazy. So hopefully we'll see. Are you gonna take the vaccine?
I think eventually everyone's going to have to, but I'm not going to be first in line. I mean, I don't need to be growing an extra thumb or anything.
You'll wait and see who falls out?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm been doing good so far, knock on wood.
Right?
Well, and that's what I said, too, is, like, once all this was supposed to be over, I'm still staying in the house for, like, 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
Well, they say it's still going to be a year or two before this is all over with. I mean, it's like a year or two after it starts, the vaccines and so forth.
Right.
By the time everybody gets
Well, there's a lot of shit to wipe down.
vaccinated and so forth. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what it is.
But are we ever going to go back to the way it was? I mean,
I won't.
masks,
I'm still going to socially distance from people. I don't like people.
gloves.
Nah, dude, but if they can't stop it with this vaccine, it's going to be exactly like on, what was it, Judge Dredd?
I don't know.
Demolition Man? What was that movie with Sylvester Stallone and
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
Yeah, Demolition Man.
Yeah, because these Taco Bells are looking super nice these days. You know what I'm saying? Let me start off with that shit.
Remember that part where she was like, he wanted to get with her,
Right?
and then she was like, okay, let's do this. He was like getting ready,
And now they have the VR glasses, right?
and he went to kiss her. And she's like, "Ew, what are you doing?"
What do you mean?
That was pretty good. Yeah, dude, I think we're closer to that shit than we think.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But forget the day we can't swap spit. You know what I mean? Not to mention other flu. I'm just just
Okay.
saying. Right? Like that wouldn't be cool.
I hear you. Well, I mean, I think it's going to be more. It might even revert to the back in the days when you couldn't have sex with anyone until you were married.
That wouldn't be a bad thing. You know what I mean? I think it would change. It would change the world. It all depends on how they do it, though.
Yeah, but that's like buying a car, not test driving it.
Well, yes, but you're also buying. It's also going to change the mindset of the car that you're buying. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, you would buy a car and it was a solid fucking car because it was made of real metal. Now you're buying a car that's plastic and it's got all these.
Right, but back in the day, there were no trade-ins. So what you got, you were stuck with.
Well, you made it last because you didn't have the money
Right.
to change.
I mean, now cars get traded in all the time.
Yeah.
You traded in one.
I got one. I got to trade in right in. But you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean that changed the landscape completely. You know what I mean? And then you talk about kids that grew up watching that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's okay. You know what I mean? It's no big deal. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
My mom did it 3 times. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, dude, it's a slippery slope, dude. Like, you can't turn back. We'll never go back to the 50s or 60s.
Right.
Which is what we're talking about, right? That time in that era. With Trump as president, if Christianity didn't get a hold of people, then nothing will get a hold of people.
But it's not going to be the 70s either with free love anymore.
Those days are long fucking gone.
I mean, I just saw something on TV.
I think the both of you are fucking crazy.
You think we're going to go back to free love?
Back? You never stopped. What are you talking about? Dude,
COVID has stopped. You don't think so?
No.
Hooking up?
No.
Really?
No. As a matter of fact, I think it's made it worse, Tony. Because you have these girls that are sitting at home that normally wouldn't go out, right? Or go out to a club and maybe not get picked up on, or maybe didn't have the best time at the club, or was a 2:00-er, right?
Okay.
We all know what that is. But this girl's sitting at home now, right? And she discovered this thing called Tinder and TikTok. So she goes on and she puts on all her best face and she goes on and she talks about wanting to go out and get some dick. Like, these girls are like, Tony.
Hearing those words come out of your mouth made me uncomfortable.
Tony, I'm like totally fucking, like, you could go on TikTok literally, and within 2 or 3 little clips, there's a girl talking about, so what's the big deal if I want to go out and get some dick? I'll drive 3 states. There's women that are going across the country right now to get dick because they can't get anywhere they are.
You being serious?
I'm being totally serious.
Right now with COVID?
Yeah. There's a story right now where this girl came. She's living in Los Angeles right now. She came from like Tennessee or back east somewhere. And she came to Los Angeles, met the dude. He was nothing like what she thought.
Of course.
They separated. She's in her own place now, and she's trying to figure out what the fuck to do. And
Go back to where the fuck you came from.
And she opened up like a Venmo account or like a PayPal or whatever to have people help her out.
How much you give her?
None. I'm waiting for her to have a fans only. Hey, no, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I don't pay for fans only.
No, I mean, I think you're talking about the exception, not the norm.
You're Tony.
They can't go anywhere. People can't go anywhere to get hooked up.
Tony, hold on. Your ears. Oh, I'm sorry. Tony's wife, plug your ears. We'll cut that out. Imagine back in the day.
Okay.
Before you were with your wife.
Okay.
You were in your early 20s, hitting the club.
Yep.
Your little white convertible, right? Driving around town. Whoop-de-whoop. Had enough gas to get to L.A. You'd go to an L.A. club, and you'd go out and you'd spend some money to get you some clothes. You'd get you some new Z Cavaricis and a nice
Chess
shirt.
King at the Riverside Mall.
Right? At Chess King, right? That's what you just said? Yep. And then you'd probably go to, God, what the hell was the name of that place right there in Riverside?
Club Metro,
right? Yeah. 4 rooms, right? Hey.
Yep.
So, and you'd go there as often as you could because you were going there to find women that were maybe not in your area,
right?
Or to sharpen your skills to pick up girls, right? Dude, right here, Club Metro is right in your phone. It's right in your computer, and everybody's sitting at home and waiting for somebody to say the right thing in their DMs, because all these girls talk about, oh yeah, this dude slid into my DMs, and there was one where this girl talked about this dude slid into her DMs. They talked on her DMs for a couple of days. They exchanged numbers. They stayed up all night talking. The next morning, she got dressed, called out of work, and drove 6 hours to go see this cat and stayed the night with him. And the next morning, put a video of her with this dude. Oh, so this is the guy that I blah, blah. Ain't shit slow down, Tony. Ain't nothing slowing down.
Dude, it's got to be slowing down. You can't go to a restaurant, find somebody at the restaurant bar.
You got Netflix and you got DoorDash, fool.
No, because you don't use that anymore.
I won't. Fuck DoorDash.
Well, there goes that sponsorship.
I don't care, dude. You know what? They pissed me the fuck off. I don't give a shit. DoorDash. Suck.
I've never used it, so I don't know.
So you know, like that's the thing. You don't have. You could call and have dinner brought to the house.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is the whole, like you said, going to a nowadays I don't think kids go to clubs, but going to a club like back in the day, and shooting your shot with 20 different girls and maybe getting 2 numbers, 3 numbers.
It's a number game, dude. I told you. See, you go in,
Of
you
course
talk to
it's
all the girls that you can, and you might come.
You throwing out lines, kid.
Yep,
You fishing.
all your best shit. You write down and remember
All
the
of
ones.
them.
Don't
remember
call
the ones that work.
Don't call it fishing, because then I'm fucked.
Why? The 4th time you win, we came out with like 6 fish.
And I was the first one to catch one.
Yeah,
so.
right. And what do you know what's funny?
Yeah, but
It's
look
the
at our
first-
batting average.
Yes, but that's it. Though.
Oh, dude, come on.
The more you go, the more chances of catching
Yeah.
fish you get.
What's
First
the
of all.
batting average with the best batter on baseball right now?
I don't know.
Two hits out of 10? I mean, that's
Those are
somebody's
hits.
batting 280.
Yeah, but
that means,
it takes me a while to get to 10.
but you're gonna get to 10.
Oh
Right?
God.
Look, you see that anthill behind you in the dirt? That was built by 1 grain of sand at a time.
That's right. How do you eat elephant? 1 bite at a time.
That's
Jesus.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to shoot your shot every time.
Every time.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne
Exactly.
Gretzky.
There you go.
That's exactly it. I don't remember where I was going with it.
I don't either.
I don't want to be having to. I'm glad I don't have to be doing that anymore. But, yep, got to shoot your shot, kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you learn to do it in person over the phone, I bet you your average will go
In
up
person over the phone.
in person instead of over the phone.
Okay.
Because your average will go up because men don't know how to do that anymore. And
like
if
I'm
you're
good at
confident
talking.
enough and you're good enough,
But they're not giving out phone numbers anymore. It's not even about
all
the
you got to
phone.
do is fucking tap their phone and you got it.
No, I'm just talking about kids don't talk on the phone
Oh
anymore.
yeah, hey, you got an Insta, you got a Snap.
Yeah, exactly. There it is.
You sounded like my brother right there.
Yeah. We've been hanging out.
Insta.
Yeah,
Snap.
you right. You got a Snap. You got an Insta.
Back in my day, it was like, what's your pager number?
Oh yeah, right.
I'm going to hit you with 911. So you got to
Wow.
call me back real quick.
Right. Hey, my code is double eights. Okay.
You know, I used to have a phone card, an AT&T phone card, so I could run up to a phone booth without any money,
And still call.
yeah, and make those
Wow.
calls. Do they even have phone booths anymore?
You can find them every once in a while. But
Really? I don't remember last time I saw
I
one.
don't either.
We used
Could
to
you
have-
imagine touching one now?
Ugh. Imagine how busted they are
Gun,
nowadays.
that shit's got gonorrhea herpessyphilades.
Right? Like that's right. Back then, imagine how gross it was back then. Imagine people trying to touch it now.
Yeah, dude. And phone booths? Oh my goodness.
God. I remember I went to San Francisco for a interview one time. Dude, I got out the BART. I got out the BART and I was I was like, holy shit. It smelled like all of San Francisco smelled like piss.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, there was nowhere in San Francisco that I went that didn't smell like urine.
I remember a while back, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, went to a wedding of a relative of mine back in New York.
Yeah?
And we went for 2 weeks. My family and I, a group of us came out from California, maybe 15, 20 of us for this wedding.
God damn.
And the first week was we were going to do the wedding, the whole tourist thing in New
Right.
York, Manhattan, Statue of Liberty, the whole 9. Second week, after all that died down, we were going to go visit my family, the Bronx, Queens, all that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
So I'm warning my wife. I'm like, look, it's dirty. It's nasty. Just be prepared. So that first week,
Just
she's
think of
like,
DHS.
this is nice. What are you talking about? This is great. I mean, we're in Manhattan, in the city,
Oh, yeah.
downtown. Oh, it was great. Went to go visit my grandmother second week in the Bronx. Jumped in the elevator.
She wanted to stand in the middle?
She's like, what's that smell? I said, this is what I was trying to warn you about. Don't touch the walls either.
Don't
You
lean on nothing.
gotta hit the button with with your elbow.
Try to kick everything you can, right? Shit. So you went back there for a wedding?
Yeah, it was a while back. Yeah.
Was there a bachelor party? Did you guys get to throw one?
Actually, there was, but it was in Vegas, which is really surprising because my uncle, who I mentioned at the last podcast, who's younger than I, he was the one that was getting married, and he had a bachelor party in Las Vegas, and like 10, 12 guys came out. And,
wow.
That's some loot right there.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised. I mean, his boys came out, of course, but there were a couple of stragglers that came out, too. And then we drove up there. There was maybe 4 of us, I think. So it wasn't really a bachelor party, per se, more of a weekend because, we went to different places. And they wanted to do the club thing, and I was already too old for that and married, and so I didn't bother to go.
You were the dad?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
pretty
stay
much.
back.
Yeah. I drove.
Call me when you guys want to go somewhere else.
How was your bachelor party?
I didn't have one, dude. I didn't have one.
How do you not have one?
I was gonna say the silence from Tony is telling.
What?
My boys weren't around. Like it was radio people that I was around.
I mean, they didn't take you. Nobody took you to a dinner or something. I mean, just to.
Wasn't I alive at that point as well?
Yeah, but you weren't old enough to do anything for me.
Well,
Oh, you went to your parents' wedding?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
oh,
Want to
okay.
make sure first. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just talking shit. I'm
But
just
no,
kidding.
dude.
Yeah, no. Maybe I should have one now.
Maybe.
Or maybe I should throw
something.
a divorce party now and let everybody know in
There
town
you
that
go.
I'm single.
Yeah. Mine, our mutual friend Manny threw it for me.
Oh yeah.
He was my best man.
That's
at
why I
the
didn't
time.
get the invite.
Man, you fell off the map, kid.
No, he got mad at me. He got mad. That whole situation happened, but he got mad at me because I never showed up to his sister's quinceañera. He was really, really hurt that I didn't go to that.
Pobrecito.
Yeah.
But that was after I got married. I think. Yeah, it was after I got. No, was it? She's home. Oh, wow. It might have been before I got married. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so. She was.
Yeah, because I was running. I wasn't even in
Yeah,
radio yet.
You're right. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he threw mine, and it was up at his house. Remember, I told you, his parents used to let us do stuff over there all the time. His parents weren't even in town on they couldn't have been. But we had 2 girls, and one we went to high school with.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
So this is what you did after high school.
Kid. It was so awkward. And it was.
Was it more awkward for you or for her?
I think it was mutual, even for Manny.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember him. He came to me after they showed up. Like I was in the room. I don't remember. It's kind of.
Who was it?
Fuck. No, I can't do it.
Come on.
I can't do
All right,
it.
give him that paper right there. You gotta write that shit down. I want to know now. You can't tell me some shit like that and not tell me who it was. Keep me in the dark. I think I have an idea, but
so he pulls me to the side. He's like, "Dude, you're never gonna believe this." I was like, "What's up?" He goes, "One of the girls is such and such." And I was like, "Are you being serious right now?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Wow," and I kind of had a crush on her in high school.
really?
At one point,
so
a little
that's
one.
why it was awkward.
Oh, hey, it is what it is. Hold on, I'm writing her name right
Did you
now.
feel like you had to pay her more because A, you knew her, and B, you had a crush on her, or was the pay scale even?
Here's the name. You know her?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know who she is. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was a funny. You know what it is? it's a story now to tell.
Right.
You know, it could have been your traditional bachelor party. And at the time, I'm not saying it sucked, but it was awkward, of course.
It's a Lifetime movie storyline. If we were telling that shit from her perspective, be like, oh, so I was a dancer at one point, and I went on a job, and well, there were people that I went to high school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a Lifetime story kind of movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And on the reverse, I was in charge of Manny's bachelor party.
Okay.
And it was at my house.
Hey, you know what? I didn't get an invite to that one either. Throwing that shit out there.
And so I had, because, you know, he's from Pasadena.
Right.
So a lot of his crew from out there came. His uncles,
right,
cousins, and then friends from the neighborhood. So I swear to God, I must have had 50 dudes in my backyard.
Dang.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And when the girls showed up, it was two of them. They were like, this is a lot of dudes. And they had been drinking and all this kind of good stuff. So
the girls or the guys?
The guys.
Okay.
And so...
Even I got that.
Well, no, you got to ask when it comes to strippers.
And what happened is they wouldn't come out of the bathroom that they were in. Like, they were in my hallway bathroom, which has a window that went to the backyard where all the dudes were. And so it turns out that, I mean, the guys were getting riled up, if you will.
Right.
You know, because the girls were there.
Right.
And they got afraid. So they were like, we're not coming out. We're not doing the thing, you know. And so they called their boss, and I spoke to their boss on the phone. And this is kind of hazy as well. But he was like, hey, you know, the girls are saying they hear them calling them the B word. And they're nervous. So they're going to leave. And I'm like, I got 50 dudes back here. And you're telling me that they're leaving? He's like, yeah, sorry. Wow. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. So I got the yellow book, the phone book, the yellow pages, called another entertainment.
Right, another agency. Huh?
Same dude answers the phone. And I was like, didn't I just speak to you? He's like, oh yeah, you're going to call. If you're going through the phone book, I got like 3 or 4 numbers.
Wow.
And I was like, you're kidding me right now.
Can you tell me which ones they are so I don't fucking call you anymore?
So long story short, his bachelor party was a bunch of dudes barbecuing and drinking. And actually, him, his dad, and 2 other dudes, I don't remember who, they went to Tijuana that night.
They left?
Yeah. Well, the party was over. So
okay.
Let's say it's midnight, 1 o'clock, and they took off to Tijuana and had a little bachelor party out there for him.
Wow.
It worked out pretty well for him, I guess. You know, he had a good time. But yeah, that was a tough one. No. But I got a story to tell about bachelor parties.
Oh shit. Okay.
Tell me about what you think about this. I heard a story about this guy was getting married. He had a bachelor party, and him and his fiance at the time, they're friends. They're, you know, best friends, and, you know, had a good relationship and joked around a lot. So she found out where they were getting the girls from. So she added a girl.
Oh, no.
The bachelor didn't know. Nobody knew, but apparently the best man knew. But she just told him, hey, I paid for another girl. Okay. And so they were like, all right, cool, whatever. So the girls were doing their thing, and the one that was dancing for the bachelor was the one that she picked. So she made sure to tell that dancer to say, hey, you know, I want you for the bachelor. Yeah, exactly. So story has it that she did her thing, the dancer did her thing, you know, and got him down to his underwear. Yep, everything. They had a great time. When it was over, when the dance was over, she, I guess, jumped off of him. I don't know how much she was grinding on him. So, you know.
So she was grinding on him.
It's quite possible. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's what they do, right?
This story didn't go into that much detail.
And if And if he's out in the middle on a chair,
that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Riding him face to face.
Yeah.
Boobs in his face.
Yep.
Okay, I can picture it.
And so when she was done, she turned and looked at him, ripped off her wig, and in her deep voice said, "Congratulations." It was a dude.
Hell
Wow.
I wouldn't get married. Be like, bitch, you crossed the line.
But apparently he was cool with it because they found it so funny. They were like, yeah, I know. Don't get me wrong. You're giving me the stink eye right now, but yeah. I mean, my wife wouldn't have done something like that. And I don't know if yours would have.
No, but I have an idea for my best friend's bachelor party.
But I couldn't believe it. They say she whipped off her wig and it was a dude.
He whipped off his wig.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Dude, tell me, Tony, you have a daughter, right?
Yes.
It's ma'am.
So, how would you feel if your daughter asked a dude to marry her? Like they'd been dating for a while and, I don't know.
How would I? That's a good question.
Because in the era that we grew up as men, we're the one that has to ask.
Right.
Have to ask, right?
And I would think that my daughter being raised by me and my wife, or my wife and I, that she'd want that as well. So if I were to find out she was planning on doing this or that she had done it, I would have to ask myself, not necessarily her, why'd you feel you had to do that? I mean, do you think that he was never going to do it? And if that's the case, is that somebody you want to be with?
Right.
Or, I mean, but she tells us a lot that that's old school. People don't do things like that anymore. So, I mean, I figure, it's a possibility, but I just don't know. I don't know how I would take that, to be honest with you.
What if so he wouldn't have to ask you anymore for the hand in marriage. So does that mean that your daughter would have to ask her mom? Hey, is it
his
all right
mom?
his mom would have to ask. Yeah. Hey, do you mind if I marry your son? I'm going to ask him this weekend. Like, how weird of a conversation is that?
That'd be a bit much.
So you don't think none of that kind of tradition's going on?
No, I don't think it'd go that far. I think it'd be one of those things that kids today, and when I say kids, I'm talking early 20s.
Right.
They don't. Marriage is not really that important to them anymore. It's not. I got nieces and nephews that are having families and they're not married.
Yeah, it's not that conviction. It's not that. It's not a need.
Yeah.
That paper's not a need anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know how I would take it. And again, the first thing I would ask myself is, why does she feel the need to have to do that? Now, do I like this guy for having to have my daughter do that for him? I probably won't like him. So
what if it was a dude that you didn't like and she asked him? Like, you were already like, oh, man, this dude, why don't you find somebody else? This dude don't work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's take it down a dirty road, right? Like, he sits at home, plays video games all day. He's got a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? He's trying to make it big on YouTube. I just need one to go viral.
Yeah, and you know what? That's another conversation we've had. Not that specific, but it's like we saw a show or movie once, and this guy was going in for a job interview in sweats and a hoodie with a backpack. And my wife and I are saying, look at this guy trying to go and get a job dressed like that. And she's like, what? People dress like that all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah. I'm the exact same. Dude, when I worked at Aaron's, there was this guy, and I'll say it because I've said it to him. So I told him, I said, there's no fucking way I would have hired you. The dude came in shorts. He was older than I am by 3 years, right? He came in shorts, and he had an earring in. Just a small little hoop, right? And I thought, maybe the shorts, because it's your day off, you were in town, you live 45 minutes away. Maybe he caught you while you were here. But to walk in with an earring at your age, to it, like, you really didn't want the job. No, not really. I was like, holy shit. He said, because I never would have fucking hired you. He said, yeah. But he called me back. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Wow.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah, my nephew was trying to find a job. He finally found one, and he wasn't getting hired. They weren't calling him back. And my brother and sister-in-law, when they weren't calling him back, the next interview he had, they said, hey, why don't you try putting on a button-down shirt and maybe some regular shoes instead of some sneakers? And guess what?
You got to call back.
They called him back because all he was doing was wearing his T-shirt, some Vans.
Sliding in.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't that sound familiar?
Same shit. I had that same conversation with my other son.
Really?
Yeah. So, Dad, nobody's hiring. Well, what are you putting on your? Well, nothing. I don't have any experience, and I don't have. No, hold on. So let's sit down and I'll show you how to fill out your application, because obviously you're sending it out everywhere, and it's just getting put in the whatever pile. So you're not doing it right.
Pile 13.
Right. And then he goes in for an interview one day, and he's got fucking torn pants on and some shirt with some sort of something on it. And I was like, no. Go put on the shirt we bought you for pictures. Go put on some slacks and put on some other shoes. All black, I don't care, whatever you got. If not, I got some in my room. They'll fit you a little big, but you can get through the day with them, whatever you need to do. And sure enough, he got a call back. It's like, dude, you can't.
Yeah.
It's not that world, dude. Like,
and my nephew, I mean, he'll work, not a problem. It's just that first impression, they don't get it.
Yeah. Because they don't have that of other people. You know what I mean? They don't. Maybe they do, but they handle it differently than we did. Maybe we were just more. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for.
Respectful,
impressionistic. I don't know.
I mean, you got to be respectful of this person that you're trying to get a job from.
Know that they've been there long enough to sit down and don't waste their time,
and that you're going to be respectful while working for them.
Right. And have self-respect. Like, don't go in with pants hanging off your ass and torn pants, and you want the part, look the part, right? And that what they always told you? Hey, you want the manager position? Start dressing and acting like a manager.
Yeah.
Don't dress for the job you have. Dress for the job you want.
Yep. If you're on time, you're 5 minutes too late.
Yep. I had a dude come in one time. I was in Hayward, and this poor kid came in, and he was less than 5 minutes late. But he came in, and I looked at my watch, and I looked at him. Sorry, dude, you missed your interview. I said, man, I'm like 5 minutes late. It wasn't my fault. And sorry, dude, if you can't make it on time to an interview, what can I expect if I hire you?
Right.
I said, I'm already telling you that it's okay. Can't happen, brother. Why don't you reapply again? I'll give you another shot then, but not right now. All right. Thank you. Okay.
Cold world, kid.
Man, I was cold, dog.
No, not world, just him.
No, I mean, you did right.
Right? Like,
I mean, when you got 20 people behind you wanting that same job, and on day one you're showing up late, I mean, come on. No, I got 19 other guys waiting.
Right, but
they're all dog shit. But the one guy that you fucking turn away is the most kick-ass little worker that you've ever had.
But I was going to say that too, though.
Did Seabass lose an opportunity for something?
No.
No, but
I just can't stand when people aren't fucking lenient like that. Like, kind of aggravates me. I don't know.
But why should we? Okay, from a business owner's perspective, why do I have to be lenient again?
Shit happens.
Yes, but if shit happens on your first day,
yeah, shit can happen after working for a while.
Yeah,
but on the first day, on the first meeting, I don't know.
I don't think it works like that, but that's
but that's the problem though, is that you don't think it works like that, and it does. That's what we're talking about, is that it's the first impression. So like the first time
I
anybody
understand that
meets
it's
you,
a first impression, but
this place that I do business with, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, they were hiring people. And just like you were saying, they hired this kid that basketball shorts. I mean, it was a type of business where you could wear basketball shorts. It was not,
right.
Let's say he's a stalker, for lack of a better description. And just white T-shirt, Hanes T-shirt. And I told the manager who I knew, I said, that's what you came up with? That's that right there? And she was like, yeah, well, he did a good interview. I was like, that's the cream of the crop? That's what you came up with? And she's like, yeah. And you know what? 7 years later, dude's like an assistant manager, doing real well.
Yeah.
But he probably showed up on time for his interview.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I was just saying, the way he looked, I was just like, that's what you came up with? That's the best you found? And between her and I, his nickname was Cream of the Crop. Because I was totally wrong.
Right.
I was like, hey, Cream's doing really well. And she's like, I know.
There was a lady that came in and wanted to rent from us. And I talked to her for about 5 minutes, saw her application, and I told my boss, there's no fucking way you're going to rent to this lady. You're going to have nothing but problems. I guarantee you, dude, that lady was the best fucking payer. She would come in, she would be waiting at the door the day I would get there. I know, I gotta wait 5 minutes. I gotta wait 5 minutes. Don't worry, I gotta wait 5 minutes. I'm gonna pay on my TV, I'm gonna pay on my TV, and I'm gonna pay on my bed, I'm gonna pay on my TV. Okay. And she'd come in and she'd take her fucking sock off and pull her soggy money out, because she'd take it out of her sock that she had been wearing. But she paid on time every month. And if not, she come in, Mr. Mingo, I don't have the money to pay, but I'm gonna have it on blah blah blah. Social Security didn't send me my money, but I talked to him today and blah 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 blah. And she always do exactly what she said.
Wow.
So maybe instinct is off a little bit.
It can
And
be.
maybe first impressions are deceiving.
Again, those are the exceptions, not the norm.
That's the exception to the rule, because 9 times out of 10 I was pretty goddamn right.
But you never know. You never know. So
You don't, but the rule of thumb is that if you're going in for a job and you want somebody to pay you X amount of money for you to come in and allow you to work there, and you got to know that you're not the only person that's going in there, why wouldn't you try your best to be the best person that he speaks to that day?
you gotta stand out.
And showing up late, you're standing out for the wrong reasons.
Right.
But standing out. I know, I'm just fucking around.
We're looking at
I was
Yeah.
like,
We're grilling them right now.
you're fired.
Yeah. Please. I know how it fucking works. I've had jobs.
He's waking up, everybody. Hold on.
If
I've
you
been
can see
awake,
him now with his
just
arms
silent.
crossed. Oh, wait. Both of you got your arms crossed.
Oh yeah.
Twins.
We're one in the fucking
I'm lonely.
same.
I'm
dude.
hugging myself. Leave me alone.
I'm not.
All right. So let me ask you another question.
Are you asking me or Tony?
Both.
Okay.
Well, you know what? It's probably more for. This one will be for you. How about we do this one first?
Okay.
Because we're in an era where women
Uh-oh.
and dating and men, if you can call them that, are different than what we grew up, right? So would you say that if you were going out on a date, more often than not, women want to pay their half?
Yes. Because I've been in several situations where, like, say we're going to the movies, right? And it's like, I'm buying tickets, and they're like, "No, let me buy mine." It's like, no, my money's out. I'm fucking buying them.
Right.
And she's like, "I don't want you to buy anything." No,
Because
it's
I
like,
taught you. That's because I taught you well.
okay. So it's like, it's more often than not I run into the no. Let me pay for mine. Let me,
So, like, if you buy tickets, do you let them buy snacks?
if they want to chip for snacks, they can chip for snacks. But I want to buy snacks too.
Okay.
So you
It's a
want to
fucking
open your
date.
whole wallet.
Not the whole thing. It's fucking movies. I'll buy like a medium popcorn and soda.
Okay, you're going to grab a bite to eat afterwards. Who pays?
I'll probably pay for my own at that point. I'll let her talk it up the whole time, and then at dinner, like, okay, you can
let her
You
pay
want to
her
get your
half.
half? Like,
Huh.
Now, when you first started dating your wife, did you pay for everything? Because she had a good job, if I remember correctly.
I believe, yes, I would probably pay most of the time, if not all the time, yes.
Yeah.
I don't really remember, but I'm going to say yes.
Did she ever reach for her wallet to pay for half, or was it just
Probably not.
yeah.
He jumped on that shit. No, she didn't.
He
No,
was
she
waiting
did not.
for that.
I think that way of doing things occurred like real quick.
Right.
Meaning, like, I was always paying. If I remember right, of course. Yeah, I can't see her paying for stuff.
Well, see, what's funny is that I had...
You better not let her listen to this one.
Yeah, right? I had a girlfriend that we would go out and she wouldn't even offer for it.
Really?
Yeah. Funnily enough, that's the shortest one.
Yeah. Right?
So.
But now you guys are married and you share all of your money, so you're getting your half back now. Wow! Holy shit!
What do you mean
That's
by what do you mean
telling.
by half?
Well, I'm just saying, like
50%.
Before you always
Okay,
paid, so now
yeah. I mean, she can whip out her card that I'm gonna wind up paying for at the end of the month because it's our money. I do the
Shit.
bills. I mean, it's not
okay.
like it's
I'm not
coming
trying
out
to
of the
get
same
you into
account.
trouble. You doing this on your damn self?
Yeah. You picked up the damn shovel.
Now, because it's weird to me. It's really weird to have a woman not allow me to pay. Like, that's just kind of what I was used to. But I think at this point, fuck that. I'm gonna let them pay for
appreciate
whatever
it,
they
yeah.
want.
Yeah, but I mean, just even I'm not trying to be a psychologist, but even the tone you just took, fuck that. Oh, damn, fuck that. She gonna pay. I mean, is there some bitterness towards?
Yes. He is super bitter.
I mean, dude.
Yeah, I was married for 9.5 years. She never worked. I paid for everything.
I get it, but it's. I mean, hey,
Even when I asked for help,
you just.
I paid for everything.
But you just say you were raised a certain way. Is that not apply anymore? I mean, did you see the light
fuck.
that no? I was taught to be the man and reach for my wallet first, and now you saw the light after an unfortunate divorce.
It's not that I saw the light. I'm just a fucking man
it
of
was
the
not
world.
unfortunate.
Just a man of the world. And if somebody's willing to pull their wallet out and pay, well, so cool.
Okay, see, that was a nice tone. That was, nice and calm.
See, you said you didn't want to play psychologist. You're playing the fucking psychologist right
Yeah,
now.
right? Well, now I got to say it nice because now he put it out there, so any chick that's listening be like,
He's gonna be like,
I ain't going out with him. Be like, no, baby, if you want to pay, it's cool, but
He's gonna-
just understand, I'm ready and willing to.
he's gonna call you a meninist here in a minute.
Yeah, right. But it's just it's just what.
So, honestly, if you were to go out on a date, you're telling me you're going expecting to pay half or expecting to pay your share of whatever it is you eat?
No,
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm going ready to pay because that's how I was raised. But if she said no, let me pay half or let me get it, I'm gonna be like,
yeah.
Even on the first try?
yeah.
You're not gonna say no, I got it, and then she, what did they say? 2 or 3 after the second time? It's.
You could fuck your first impression. You could ruin it.
I've already made the first impression. We on a date already. Fuck that.
What if it's not though? What if that is your first impression? Her first
Well, then
impression.
she,
of
you got to set the tone right. Just like I never buy anybody that I've ever dated. I didn't buy flowers or buy them any extravagant gifts right off the bat.
So that's why you're
Really?
not married anymore.
Yeah, hell no. You set the expectation too high.
Yes, you're right. You're totally right.
Right?
For
Because-
you, that expectation is too high.
Because let's say when you first got married, right? You bought your girl, you took her out somewhere, you knew you guys had planned to be together the night, you went and bought yourself a nice hotel, you went there early and spread out fucking flowers, you put roses on the bed with heart-shaped petals all around it, and you put candles and a bottle of champagne and all this bullshit, right? Because you wanted to be that dude to be like, because if you broke up with her, you wanted her to be with the next dude and be like, Tony did other shit. He
Right.
did like this, right?
Yeah.
You want to be that
Yes.
cat, right?
Yes.
I didn't want to go into it like that because now, what are you going to do next?
Oh, hold on a second. No. Let's backtrack.
Yes.
I didn't go into it thinking, well, when we break up, the next guy's gonna
Right. Well, that's not. Yeah.
That shows a lot about his mindset.
Hey.
Now I'm playing the psychologist.
Yeah, well, you got to look into the future, son. You know what I mean? Not everything's behind you. Shit. You know what I mean?
The future is not so bleak. Yes, it is.
Very much so. But no. Like, obviously you didn't go into it thinking, well, I'm going to ruin it for the next man.
Right.
But you know that at some point you had to look back and be like, shit, ain't nobody else gonna do no shit like this.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, that wasn't. Hey, I'm cool. I'll do that shit later. Right now, we still trying to get you somewhere before we, you know what I mean? We got groundwork to do before you get all that. You know what I mean? Shit, I worked too hard for my money to throw that up front because now it's going to be next year when it's our anniversary. You're going to want a car with rose petals around it and shit like that. I ain't playing that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
those first anniversary presents, you can't be going all out. You gotta
stay. That's why they have that calendar of what shit it like paper 1 year, wood 1 year. Like stick to that shit. You know what I mean? I bought my ex-wife. I bought her a vacuum 1 year.
shut up.
Yeah. Hell yeah. She had been complaining, hey, the vacuum's not sucking up anymore. Blah, blah, blah. I changed the bag. I can put it.
Hold on. To be fair, the last time, or when you bought her something that she wanted, like a camera, she got pissed.
So she had been talking about, I need a new camera. I want a camera. When somebody's telling you shit like that, you think, okay, and her birthday's like in a month and a half. You go, okay.
That's a hint.
Those are hints. Like,
right.
Baby, okay, I'm going to buy you a camera. I'm going to show you I'm fucking listening. Right? So I did. I bought her the cameras. A camera? What kind of present is that for a birthday? Be like, well, you were just talking about you wanted a
It's
camera.
better than that vacuum I bought you last year.
So I said, all right, cool. Like, all right, fuck it then. So next year I bought her a vacuum.
Damn.
Yeah.
A vacuum?
Mm-hmm. You want to buy her for Christmas?
He sucks.
Dude.
I bought her a rolling pin. And a cookbook.
Yeah, she still doesn't know how to bake.
Yup. Wow. Sebastian, be nice to your mom.
Oh.
There can only be one of us. But yeah, dude, I never bought anything like. But I did buy her. Her ring was pretty expensive. Yeah.
You know the funny thing, speaking of rings, my wife's ring was pretty expensive at that date and time.
Okay, Tony.
But now she's saying it's time for an upgrade because our finances are a lot. What is it? 3 months? 3 months salary?
No.
4 months?
6 months. 6 months to a year.
No.
6 months to a year.
De Beers Diamonds.
I thought it was like 3 months salary. Oh wait, we're gonna have to do. You got to beep all that out.
I think it is 3 months.
Well, anyway, she's saying, it's time for an upgrade because our salaries are different now. Back then it was minimum wage was what, $8 an hour, $6 an hour.
You better learn how to flip that real quick, Tony.
Man,
Be like, look, baby.
Tell her cost of living went up too.
Nah, you got to be slicker than that. Like, look, yes, you know what? We are making more money, but nothing is going to make more love than that first love that we had when I bought you that ring, because that's what that symbolizes. And no amount of money or no size diamond will ever take that away from us.
hold on, let me get my notepad. I gotta write that.
No?
Yeah, hold on.
Shit.
It might work.
We'll bleep that out too. Nah, but dude, you got buy no ring? You crazy? Let's see. How much should I'm Googling it right now? How much should a wedding ring cost? Is it wedding or engagement? Woo!
I don't know.
I think it's engagement.
But shouldn't you throw in the word salary in there for somewhere? Because they were basing it on back in the
There you
day.
go. How much should you spend on an engagement ring on your official budget guide? Here we go. La la la. Stand by. I don't fucking read on the flyby.
I'm pretty sure it's 3 months.
Because my wife
I know
has
it's difficult for you.
champagne taste from my Budweiser budget.
Prices found that the average engagement ring cost in 2018 was, holy shit, $7,829 was the cost of the engagement ring. The standard price point was $5,023. You want to bleep that out too, Tony?
Well, I mean, again, basing it on salary. Type that in. How much salary goes towards a wedding ring, or how many months' salary?
Should equal the wedding ring.
Oh, this one says 2 months.
See,
but I heard 3.
No, I think it is 3.
I think
3 months salary. You're tripping on 6 months to a year.
I think De Beers Diamonds is like, that's the first diamond company. They set that precedent of 3, but
I mean, I think that's cool. I mean, that's, hey, I'm not making a lot of money. You never do when you're first starting out.
Holy shit. They're saying, yeah, but Tony, 2 months, they're talking 10 grand. If you make 60 grand a year, you're going to spend 10 grand on an engagement ring.
Hey, love knows no budget, kid.
Well, if it doesn't know no budget, then you ain't got to buy one that's expensive. Just tell her it was. Right?
It's 10 grand?
10 grand?
Shit.
No, that's 100. Oh, yeah, 3 months salary. 60 grand, 5 grand a month. It's like 15 grand. 10 to 15.
Yep.
Okay.
You read?
What?
You said that, okay, like you were.
No, I'm just saying okay as far as
he understands.
3 months salary.
Oh, I thought like, okay, I could do that. Like, yeah, let's go do that. Fuck that shit. Wow, really? What happened to the days of just wearing a band?
That's what I'm wearing. She wants me to upgrade mine. And I'm like, nah, this works out perfect for me. This is the original. I've taken this ring off once, and since I've had it on my finger.
Really?
Once. We went.
Because you were mad, right?
No, we were swimming with dolphins on a vacation.
Right.
And they said we're not allowed to wear rings because the ring might rub against the dolphin and freak them out. Like anything, it just had to be your hand. So I had to take it off if I wanted to swim with the dolphins. So that's the only time I've ever taken it off.
That's kind of cool, though. I mean, that's a cool reason to take it off. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought it was kind of cool that I never took it off. Thanks.
Yeah, that's
looking out.
Yeah, no, that's.
I got feelings too, man.
Did she take hers off? Why didn't you just put a Band-Aid over it? And that way you never had to take it off.
Trust me, I think, I think back, I probably should have just not taken it off and not held the dolphin with that hand. But, it is what it is.
Dude, you got to hold dolphins with both hands. You know you had to hug it. You know you hugged that dolphin. Don't lie.
You ever swim with some dolphins?
No.
It's actually pretty cool. They got behind you. You put your feet together.
Oh,
and they'll push you. It's a trip, kid. It is a trip.
Oh no, push you right into some sharks and shit.
Yeah.
You know what, Tony? I don't like the ocean. I don't fuck around in the ocean. I'll go to the.
No, you keep going. But I just wanted to interrupt so you know I had a story. Keep going.
I know. So what?
So I had a story because I can't get a word in edgewise with you.
Oh, you have a story? Go ahead.
No, you were fucking talking. Go. Okay, so there was a story, because fuck you, where this lady was swimming in the ocean, or these people were swimming in the ocean, and there's like a fucking whale carcass there, right? And there's sharks fucking nipping at it. But there's another whale swimming by, and the whale like nudges the fucking lady away, because there's a shark coming after her.
Oh, wow.
So whale saved her. Pretty cool to watch. They had it on video. You should look it up.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. What? Laughing at you, prick. I find different shit interesting from you.
No, that is cool. Fuck, what do you want to do?
Stop laughing at me, you giant prick.
I'm not laughing at you.
He's laughing with you.
No, that's not a with you laugh.
No, I'm laughing because I'm picturing the fucking whale going, tapping the fucking lady in the water. Over here, bitch.
She wanted to put a leash on it and take it home.
I guess.
She better be glad it wasn't a fucking narwhal.
Oh, Jesus. And even then, that's this not...
But you don't like swimming in the ocean?
I don't. Nope.
I don't either. When just to let you know, when we went swimming with dolphins, it wasn't like in a contained area.
Oh, okay.
It's not like
But like in the ocean though, right? Like you were still.
No, I think it was like a man-made pool, like humongous.
Oh, okay. Was it like at Marine World or like
no,
it was like that kind of a setting, like or
yeah, it was in the Bahamas.
Oh, okay.
So,
fucking.
We went snorkeling in Hawaii. That shit was nice.
I've been swimming with tilapia, bitch. No.
And if that.
No. I'd love to go to the Bahamas. How's that? Is that nice?
Oh, it was real nice. I ain't gonna lie.
I just saw this video on Facebook about this place in the Philippines where they take you out on a boat, and it's these little huts that float on the water. But they have all the amenities. They have electricity. They have Wi-Fi. They got all that bullshit, which I wouldn't want if I'm going to go out there. Fuck that. I don't.
You're lying.
Yeah, I don't know if I can hang, but
Yeah.
in my head, I'm thinking, fuck, I don't want any of that shit. I want to go Castaway. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they were right on the water, and they had a walkie-talkie so that you can call the main hut, and they would bring you drinks or food or whatever the fuck you wanted in your room, and your hut was open.
So it's floating on the water.
It's a floating gazebo.
Well, I mean, I think it was
right.
posted to the ground, like you weren't just floating, but it was just on the water. It was kind of dope, dude. Like I was like, wow, that'd be kind of cool to go.
Well, I mean, not to floss, but we went to
Here we go,
Bora Bora, and we stayed on those huts that are on the water.
Did you have to go in on one of them planes that had the little pontoons?
Yeah.
Indiana
and
Jones
not only
style.
that, we had to fly on one of those to like the airport is like an island, and the only thing on there is the airport. That's it.
Those
And then
islands are cool.
from
Have you ever seen one of
there,
those?
you take a boat to your specific island,
How do they
or
talk?
your resort, I should say.
How do they talk in Bora Bora?
What
Oh, this
language
will be
is it?
fucking
What kind
good.
of accent is it? Like a Jamaican accent, or is it something like that? or
No,
is it-
more like I want to say Filipino accent.
really.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Welcome to Bora Bora.
So, stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, we stayed on those huts that are in the water. Like our room had one of those glass bottoms.
All I got is
see-
Hawaii. That's all I
But
got.
see, that's what you get for going and buying some expensive shit right off the bat. You had to take her to Bora Bora. You had to go to, like, you know what I mean? Shit. I took my ex-wife to fucking where is that on the coast that we would always go? Where the big rock, Morro Bay. We'd always go to Morro Bay.
Where's that?
By San Luis Obispo,
Okay.
up by Hearst Castle on that area.
That's too piddly for my standards,
Yeah.
says Tony.
Hey, we stayed on the coast of
Yeah.
California. Shit. That's fucking hilarious. That's dope, though. That's exciting that you get to go do shit like
yeah,
that.
well,
Though.
you know what? If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be doing any of these things. I wouldn't even think about it.
Really?
Yeah. And, we went like on a double date for it. A buddy of mine, James,
Oh, okay.
and his wife. Our wives get along really well, and they had planned it for like 2 or 3 years. And it just came to fruition that, we just went. It worked out great.
That's dope.
Yeah. Worked out real well.
I have a feeling if I ever met anybody and got married, your wife would not like my wife.
Oh,
I don't know why. I don't even know her yet. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm
Because you
just,
bring home hood rats, kid.
Yeah, I was gonna use a different choice word, but
we like what we like. This is me too, Pac-Man.
wow.
So let me ask you a question.
Hold on. If you do, you have to make them watch this podcast to hear me call them a puta.
I'm gonna have you a shirt made, so when she goes
There you
over,
go. I like that. I'll wear that shit out in public.
Your dad's going to be like, don't talk to your stepmom
Yeah,
like
right.
that.
Dad's new puta. Let me ask you this, Tony. Because it's been brought up before on the podcast, and I've done it a few times. And so let me I'm just gonna say it. So your daughter's in her early 20s, right?
Correct.
What if your daughter told you, hey, I'm dating somebody. I want to bring them home for the holidays. And you've never met him. Right?
Okay.
The day she comes home with this cat, Thanksgiving Day, shows up at your house. She comes in, says, hi. Everybody's, oh, where's he at? All of a sudden, this fucking dude that looks like he could be your brother or like somebody that you went to school with walks in the door. She's dating a dude your age. How would you walk me through that situation?
Huh.
I could hear it in your voice like that.
Yeah.
That created a lot of anxiety in you.
The day would go on without a hitch. I'd be respectful. I'd talk to the dude. I wouldn't bring up the age.
Tony, what if in the midst of talking to this guy, you enjoyed the dude's company? Like he was just like this really cool cat.
Oh, that could happen.
And you guys had a lot in common.
Yep, perfect.
And your daughter was one of them. How would you feel about that? Like that's... I stumped you right now.
No, you actually didn't, because again, that's what I mean by the day would go out without a hitch. I'd be pleasant. I'd be respectful. We'd get along. Everything would be great. As soon as he left,
the conversation afterwards would be
that's
horrendous.
when we're going to have a conversation. That's when it's like, what are you doing? and I'm basing this on the understanding we have between my wife and my daughter and, of course, my son, is I don't want to meet the person until it's 90% sure that that's the person that she's going to be with. I don't want to see her going on dates. I don't need to know John and Tom and whoever, Isaac. I don't need to meet these guys.
Right.
Because they're just your dates. Who cares? Whatever. Right. So the person I meet is potentially the one. So if she's bringing home someone that's my age that to her is potentially the one,
like, nope, keep looking.
Then yeah, we'd have to have a conversation after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it.
Because it's really like, okay, so...
Because she's limiting herself to what...
The possibilities.
Yeah, because, she's got a life to live.
And it's unfair because he's already probably lived most of the things that she hasn't yet.
And he's probably got kids her age.
Ooh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
And if he doesn't, there's something wrong with him.
Right? Well, yeah. Yeah, no, you're probably right. I say that because when I was in my early 40s, I had an entanglement with a 21-year-old.
Really?
Yeah.
High five.
Yeah. And that one was really awkward. She was cool. She was working for me. A little scary.
Little?
Yeah.
That's sexual harassment.
Nah, I wasn't harassing nobody.
Okay, hold on a second. Were you the boss?
Job, no, what?
Were you the boss?
Yeah.
She was one of your underlings?
Yeah.
Okay, it's sexual harassment. But go on.
And she would invite me over, and I met her mom, which her mom, was my age, maybe a year or two older. Like, I could have been dating her instead.
Wow.
But wouldn't have happened because her mom. And I met all of her brothers. Like, it was her birthday party, and she invited me over. Like, I was like, are you sure? Like, that's fucking weird, dude. Like, you know what I mean? But I was like, cool, okay, I'll go.
If you say it's weird, there's a fucking problem.
Then there's probably a pretty good chance it's weird, right?
Yeah.
So then, I changed stores. And when I changed stores, I started messing around with another girl who was 22. 22. She was married. And, fuck. And, yeah, dude, it was really the dude and her kid would come and pick her up, and like I would talk to the dude, and she, you know, act like nothing was, and
wow,
that was really weird, dude.
That's bad, kid.
And then it was her birthday one time, and she invited me over, and I was like, dude, but your man's gonna be there, and yeah, but it's okay, nobody knows. Dude, I went. I met her mom. Mom was kind of hot, though. I was like, "Okay, up your mom." You know what I mean? But I just asked because it's always seemed like especially now, and I think that, you know, somebody told me it's because I have a like a young spirit, like, you know what I mean, like basically because I am fucking grown up, and it seems like younger women are more attracted to me than women my own age.
Okay.
And it's always been like that. Like older women just kind of like, yeah, you know what I mean? And even in high school, like, you know what I mean? And so, but I just can't wrap my mind around going to some girl's house for a fucking family gathering, and especially here. Like I could walk in and be like, oh,
yeah,
shit,
everybody
bro,
knows
hey,
everybody.
what's going on, dog? I remember we went to school. Oh,
that's your sister?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Right? Like, yeah, I don't know, dude. Like that's gotta be weird.
I mean, since you lived it, what kind of conversations do you have with somebody that's half your age? I mean, I can't even listen to the music they listen to now. I mean, I know I'm showing my age, but
you know what? You'd be surprised, dude. And I think half of it is like these girls that have daddy issues. Sorry, I throw my recipe out there. My bad. Some of these girls that have daddy issues, that part of it is because when we're in the midst of being fathers at that age, we don't stop and listen and understand our children, whether it be a daughter or son, whatever, right? But as men, we have a different capacity to listen. We have a different capacity to understand. We have a different capacity.
Are you claiming you have a capacity to listen?
Hold on. So
to lead?
Are you okay? As you said, as fathers, you mean like when you're at a certain age and you're a young dad, not a young dad, but right now, like let's say 10 years ago, right? When you're raising your daughter, blah blah blah. Your temperature of a man was different then than it is now. Okay.
And I don't think that my analogy is going to work for you, because I have this really strong feeling that you don't father the way other men do, because we've talked about it, and I see how you are, and the whole give me a kiss before you leave, like that's a different style of parenting. That makes sense? Like there's a lot of times where parenting is disengaged. And I think a lot of people have that because both parents work, or it's a single parent unit, whatever that situation is, right? Okay. And they're disengaged. So they have a kid that's learning to live and navigate through life by semi-parenting.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you and I are engaged in our children's lives. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's happening. Hey, what's going on at work? Hey, let's talk about it. Hey, here's a situation. Whatever it is, right?
Right.
I believe that's the way you parent. And I think that there's a lot of people that don't do that. And so, because they don't know how, at that age, they don't know how when that child needs it the most. So once they hit that 18, 19, 21, 22, I hate my dad, I hate my mom. Oh, my parents just don't understand. I fucking hate them. What?
I'm going to go work the pole instead.
Right. Right. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to go pay for my own education. And then an older man comes along and is willing to listen and willing to, because what else does he have to offer you? He's got a little bit of money, maybe. He's got plenty of time.
Right.
He's got a different emotional attachment to you. So he has to listen to understand how to talk to you and how to,
well, isn't it that more, not more, but isn't it that you're past that point to where you only have one thing on your mind. So you are open to listening and hearing about her day, and so the girl can appreciate that.
Yeah, because you don't want to push too hard and fuck up the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
You tried a little too hard for that joke.
But yeah, dude, what we talked about was, I mean, fuck. That was the first one. She would keep me on the fucking phone all night. Like, I don't even know how the fuck I stayed awake half the time. But like, she wanted to fucking, like, we were in high school. Like, she wanted to hate. I was like, hey, I can't be on the phone all fucking night. I need some sleep. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
I couldn't do it.
I can't do that shit. But the other girl, because she was married, she couldn't be like that. So it was like, cool. Like, you know what I mean? No strings attached. I got
You ain't got to take her to dinner or nothing.
Nothing. You know what I mean? She come over after work. I might have a pizza there. Like, here, have a slice. Here's a little sip of Coke. Let's get her done and go home. You know what I mean?
So what happens if Sebastian brings a woman home that's your age?
He's going to be fucking proud of me.
Yeah. If he brought home what?
A woman your age. I mean, you said my daughter
Thanks,
bringing home
dickhead.
a man
No.
my age. Okay, well, he's going to bring home a woman your age.
Look. Sebastian, you see women my age, right?
There's a few.
Yeah? All right. You know what? I'd be cool with it.
Not a whole host of them, but there's...
I'd be cool with it.
You wouldn't think that he was wasting his time? I mean, again, she's got kids his age.
He should be wasting his time. This is a time where he should be going out meeting different
he
kinds of
should
people
be.
and women.
Women.
Women, yeah.
Plural.
Yeah.
But he's stuck with a 49-year-old that has kids his age.
Hey, look, if she comes...
Hold on. If I'm with a 49-year-old woman and there's kids that are my age, I'm probably getting along with them. Because if I can't stand the kids...
You're going to be
I'm
in
not
their
going over to
bedroom
the
playing
house,
video games with
right?
them, and then at night you're going to go into her bedroom.
She gonna get mad.
and play with her.
Right? Sebastian, can you please put down the cod and come play with me?
They're going to call you, Sebastian, could you bring some food
Right?
when you
Fuck
get off of
no.
work?
That's my discount.
But do you don't have a problem with that? I mean, again, I understand, yes, son, you're getting some, that attitude, but a 49-year-old?
Tony knows you so well.
Okay, so if I'm being funny, then I would say I wouldn't have a problem with it because she's probably going to clean a house too, which is cool. I could use a hand. But to know that, he's, 21 and hooked on a 49-year-old, I think I'd have a long conversation with him. You know what I mean? That, hey, look, son, you're 21. You got a lot of life to live.
Yep.
She's already lived it. Like, I understand it's an infatuation. She's probably doing tricks that you never thought you'd learn and making you feel good in different ways that you don't completely understand. And she's 49, so she knows how and what your triggers are going to be. And she's got children your age, so she understands. So don't go into it wholeheartedly. Don't go blind. Understand what the situation is. And if it turns out to be something serious, then we sit down, the three of us, and we have a real conversation.
Wait a minute. What do you mean the three of us?
Yeah, I'm not sitting her down with you. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, he's 21 years old. Why does he have to have a conversation with you?
Because he's living in my house.
Oh, I wouldn't be here. I'd be at her house.
Cool.
I'm not having no conversation with you. What the hell are you talking about?
Then, okay. I mean, but you have
But hold on a second. What do you mean? I understand he's living
Tony
under
is
your
really
house.
uncomfortable with the fact that you brought up that the three of us will have a conversation.
Yeah,
and I fucking like that.
I mean, he's a grown man.
Okay. So
Maybe
if that's hold on.
Do you feel like I'm a grown man?
No.
Exactly.
But
See?
if that's the case, then why are you having a conversation with your daughter about her older man?
Yeah, but I would have it with her. I wouldn't have it with the two of them.
That's because you're chicken.
Ooh,
It ain't because I'm
fuck.
chicken.
Shit.
You're
you
tripping.
should have straightened that man out as soon as he walked in the door. Hey, hold on.
I'm not trying to embarrass my daughter.
No, you ain't embarrassing shit. And it's your house. And if you don't think it's right, it's your responsibility.
I'm not saying it's not right. I'm just saying I would have to have a conversation with her.
Well,
are you sure this is what you want to do?
Then why you gotta?
Are
if
you
she
sure
brought home
this
a 23-year-old? You wouldn't be having that conversation with her. What? Where you at?
Okay, if she was bringing home a 23-year-old that didn't work, played video games all day,
so what if the old
I would have to have a conversation with her.
So what if the old man that came over didn't work and all that shit? You'd have the same
That's
conversation?
a fucking problem. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, I would have the same conversation with her.
Okay, so what if the old man that came over had enough money and told her, hey, baby, you ain't got to work, you ain't got to go to school no more,
I still have to have the conversation with her.
So,
but again, I'm having it with her.
Yeah, it's weird.
She's a grown. She's a woman.
But why wouldn't you? Like, I understand having a conversation with her, and I applaud you for that. You should do. But as a man, I think you need to have a conversation with homeboy, and because.
But again,
hold on. Let me get this out real quick, and then
fucking hell. And then keep going. Finish your thought, Jesus.
Because you have to check where he's at, right? You have to check where he's at as far as what his intentions are, because you have to know that as a 49-year-old man to date your daughter, there had to be some sort of manipulation to get to where he's at. What were you gonna say?
I forgot because you cut me off, but keep going. No. I remember. So, again, you said a conversation with him. It's just him, not the fucking three of them.
Right. I mean, yeah, exactly.
The fact what he's saying is the fact that it's the conversation between the three is weird. And that's what he's saying.
Not only that, it's the fact that you are saying I would have to have a conversation with the two of them, like if they're both in middle school. He's 21.
Like we're both children.
She's 49. They're adults. Who are you to say I have to have a conversation with the two of you? You see that's what I'm saying.
This Tony right now. What's going on?
Well, Tony, I think because as a parent, you want to make sure that you still want to take care of your kid at 21, right? Like, yeah, he's 21 and she's 49. We know he's in it for the hoo-ha and all the extra stuff that comes with it. The chances of them being able to have a true relationship, be able to go out somewhere other than the fucking senior center, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know of course I know so exactly what you're saying. I know you're trying to look out for him as I would be trying to look out for my daughter.
Right. So why wouldn't you sit down and have a conversation with the three of them and say, okay, listen, son, we need to have a talk.
Because he's 21, because they're in their early 20s. They're legally adults, and
you don't stop parenting at 21. You're a parent.
You kind of do. Because they're adults. I'm not going to say... My daughter's going out tonight with her friends.
Okay.
Did I tell her, be home by 11? This is my house. You're staying under my roof. And she's only staying because of COVID, so that, hey. But you're staying under my roof? No, she's an adult.
Yes, but I think there's a difference between saying, hey, you know what? I know you're an adult and you're staying here. Be home by 11. Obviously not. But we're talking about bringing home a man that's twice her age and plus, right?
Right. And I would have the conversation with her. Hey, are you sure this is what you want to do?
I need your wife on the show. I think you're wrong. I think your wife would have the conversation with him. I think she would tell you to have the conversation with him. Tony, you need to go.
Okay, Mingo. You're proving my point. I would have a conversation with him. Or I would have a conversation with her. I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, you two, we need to have a conversation.
I think at some point, depending on the conversation that you have with him, you might have to.
Oh, yeah. If it gets that far, if it gets that deep, maybe.
All of a sudden, yeah.
No. But you're making it seem like you said, like, right off the bat, oh, hold on a second. I'm going to have a conversation with you two. You're sneaking around here.
Yeah.
Look, if you're going to be coming around
I saw you kissing in the backyard.
If you're going to be coming around here and sleeping with my son, we're going to put you on a cleaning cycle with the kitchen and their bathroom.
Wow.
No, I mean, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I wouldn't have a conversation with both of them at the same time.
You see, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it took that fucking long for you to get there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
I mean, I don't know how different we are. I mean, like you said, we have a lot of parenting similarities, but nothing against Sebastian. I don't know how mature his maturity level is, but my kids, we treated them since they were probably juniors in high school. Like, hey, you got to do shit on your own. You got to learn these things. We're not going to treat you like kids per se, but, we're going to keep an eye on you. But, we gave them a pretty long leash to do what they had to do.
Yeah, I think your leash gave more when you moved down here.
Yeah, I didn't get treated like an adult even after I turned 18. I get at that point, you know what, you're still young, but still.
That, I mean, when you say that, I mean, don't get me wrong, mothers will mother you and smother you. Is that what you're referring to?
I think there's a difference. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but...
I mean, because my wife will still cook for the kids, clean up after them, and I'm like... Pfft.
Yeah, no, it's not that kind of mothering.
It wasn't like that?
No, not...
I think it was more helicopter parenting is what they call it. She's just right there the whole time, right on my shoulder. Like, I didn't have rope to hang myself. I had...
Yeah,
she had a leash. It was a leash that if I got anywhere close to where it was...
She was overprotective.
Yeah.
She was overprotective.
But was it for the right reasons?
No, not with him. This kid's afraid to disappoint us. You know what I mean? As
probably
parents.
Because of that.
Yeah. I think that he's got anxiety about doing stuff, and I think that that's part of his anxiety about going home or going up to see them every once in a while is part of that he doesn't want to fall back in her grasp after being here and being able to be who he is. Make sense?
It does, but and now I'm going to point at you. Are you not an adult yet that you can't go up there and be who you are and at the end of the day say, okay, I'm going home, bye?
I'm afraid to be who I am around them. I am legitimately afraid to be who I am around them. Because who I am reminds them of him. And they don't like that.
I wasn't a bad guy. I never did anything bad to them or make them hate me.
I'm not saying that, but
right.
But they just, it's
wow, it's getting kind of heavy.
Yeah, well, I think that when we separated, there was a lot of that, and he looks so much like me, and he does do a lot of things that got inherent things for me that he just does because he just got for me, you know what I mean? Either by watching or whatever. His sense of humor, being a smart ass, all that kind of stuff, standing on your own 2 feet and just kind of, okay, no, it's not going to happen kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
yeah, she doesn't like that I stand up for myself. I don't crumble at her fucking toes.
And she grew up and she wanted everything for her, everything's got to fit in this little box. And when you don't, she doesn't know how to deal with you. And it becomes an issue. So she fought all those years to keep him in his box. And she kept him in his box and let him stay there because our other son was louder and needed more attention and asked for things. And he was happy sitting back and not getting any of the attention. That make sense?
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. I'll say this. Me and my mom are okay because I'm away from her.
I can see how some relationships aren't the greatest. But I'm just saying from the mother's aspect, your mother in particular, for this conversation, was she not doing anything with your best intentions at heart?
No.
So it might have been wrong, whatever it is that she was doing, however what she was treating you, but did she mean it that way? Was she thinking, I'm doing what I think is best for you? So I think because of that, you shouldn't be so hard on her.
Can I interject real quick?
Of course.
I think what it was his mother loved him the way she wanted to be loved and not the way he wanted to be loved. Make sense? Because everybody loves differently.
It does make sense, but again...
And everybody learns and is taught differently, and that's... Okay.
But again, I think it's the intention is what I'm trying to say. What was her intention? Was it to be a loving mother and it just didn't work out? Or
But Tony, at the age of 21 and her at 43,
I think.
Even back before then,
Yeah.
why does it have to be his responsibility, first of all? Second of all, how is it that you want a 21-year-old to understand what his 43-year-old mother was doing when she doesn't? Because I think we look at things, and for me, one of the things that when me and his mom separated, I thought, fuck, dude, I don't know how to deal with all of these emotions. I don't know what's going on. I can't imagine being 5 or 6 years old having to deal with all of these crazy emotions and things that are so way out of your control.
All these emotions, what do you mean? Who's having all these emotions?
I think both of us, all of us,
yeah,
everybody in the situation.
My parents are getting divorced in front of me, like. And not that I knew what divorce was, I just knew that my mom and my dad were getting loud with each other. And it was uncomfortable.
And, okay, now with that being said, was that a good thing or a bad thing?
Divorce?
Oh, no, what you were experiencing at that age. Do you think that affected you positively or negatively?
Probably negatively.
Okay, now with that being said, who are you blaming for that?
The situation. I'm not blaming either of them. Like,
well, I kind of get the impression that you kind of blame your mom. I shouldn't say you blame your mom, but I think you have more of a negative attitude towards your mom and more of a positive one towards your dad. When the things you were experiencing that maybe brought you to this point was due to the both of them.
Yeah.
So why does he get the positivity and she gets the negativity, but when she was just trying to do the best that she could?
I think because he spent most of his time with her throughout those years growing up. I mean, I went to go see him as much as I could, but it still wasn't as much time as they spent with her. So, they obviously when they come with dad, it's that fun time. It's, hey, we're going to do everything we can do where we're not, arguing or being angry with each other.
That still happened.
Right.
So she had to be the disciplinarian.
No, I did a lot of it over the phone, but yeah, you're right. It's different because it's over the phone. I was a distance dad. It wasn't like I was around the corner anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But again, I'm just trying to say, because
you're devil's advocate.
Tony trying to ruin our relationship.
I guess that's how I see
That's
it.
cool. Go ahead.
You guys are a little too close for me. I don't like it. No, I know of a couple of relationships like this where the mother and the son butt heads more than they get along, and I just feel for the mother because in certain situations she just did her best, what she thought was best. And it didn't necessarily turn out that way, but that wasn't her intention. Her intention was to do the best as she could, and she thought she was doing that. It just didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
And the son blames the mother for this, and I try to tell the son it wasn't her intention for this. She was doing, there's no playbook on being a parent.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately for you, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But don't blame her. I mean, she wasn't saying, I want to fuck my son up in the head. It was just...
Sometimes it feels like that.
We always own fucking you guys up. That's the one thing we did do.
You own it better. She's only recently come around to like, yeah, maybe this wasn't how this should have been, and maybe this wasn't this way. To be fair, I think I've come off of her a little bit. A lot more.
I think so.
Good. I mean, that is your mom. You only get one.
Right.
She hadn't have fucked it up so bad. No, I'm just kidding.
Do we edit that or leave that?
She doesn't listen. It's okay.
Wow. Fuck, Tony. You fucked that up.
Again, he didn't want to play the psychologist, but that's what happened.
He's been dying to do that.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'll be honest. And people, dude, I'll be honest with you. My friends and my family that listen to it,
Yeah.
they're like, damn, Sebastian got issues with his mom? I'm like, yeah, I think so.
He's airing
No, I
all
shouldn't
my
say I
shit
think so.
out.
I was like, it sounds like it.
He's airing all my shit out on the show.
Right.
Whatever. Fuck it. That's what
Oh,
we're here to
no,
do.
dude, they listen. That's how I'm
okay.
like, damn.
But you know what? It's healthy to get it out.
Yeah,
If it's
trust
on the
me.
show.
I mean, again, I'm not judging. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, either whether it's playing devil's advocate or just saying, look, I think a parent tries their best. I have, and sometimes we just don't get it right, done right,
Yeah.
and we just hope that the things we get right outnumber the things that we do wrong. And unfortunately, maybe in your situation, the wrong outnumbered the right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't her intention. Don't look at me like that, kid.
Like what? I wasn't looking at you any kind of way. Why are you feeling guilty? Shit. It was. He's right. We both did the best that we could with what was going on at the time. We made decisions based on what we knew at the time. And, I've told you too that there's probably things that I shouldn't talk to you about and tell you about and whatnot. But there were also things that I think that you needed to know and not know like it was a secret, but like
Understand.
Understand that maybe you didn't or hadn't seen it yet.
I do want to thank you guys for that, though. Because without all this trauma, I wouldn't be this fucking funny.
You're right.
You see? Yeah, hey.
I should call and thank her. Thanks for fucking me up, because I'm so hilarious.
Why don't you put that in the Christmas card? Hey, thanks for fucking me up. I'm touring this year.
Yeah.
No, you can't have free tickets.
Buy my merch.
Fuck. All right.
Well, I got a question. Let's swing back real quick. So, you already had Sebastian when you got married.
Correct.
Was it planned? Was it just like, oops? I mean, did you?
It was a fucking bet.
And here's the thing. I don't want to make it seem like.
I don't like how well you skipped over what I just said.
You know the story, right?
About what?
Where he was made?
Where it was made.
Yeah, behind backstage somewhere or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, let's refresh because now we got new listeners.
So, Carlos Mencia had been to Bakersfield, hanging out with him and his wife, and he had mentioned how he had always wanted to have somebody have sex backstage while he was performing, or somebody performing behind him while he was performing. So we had gone to, I can't remember the name of the place now, but it's there in Bakersfield. I believe it's in Oildale, just on the edge there. And it's a little theater. And so what it is, you have the stage, and obviously you have a curtain, and then behind the curtain, they have props.
Like
well,
set.
yeah, whatever they were play they were doing, there was actually a bed back there. So he had told us that he wanted to do this. So I went home and I told my wife, and or she wasn't my wife at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
So I went and I told her, and she, okay, I'm down. All right, cool. So we went, and I told him before he went on stage, really? I said, yeah. So I went out on stage. I introed him, and while I was running by him, he said, "Are you really?" I said, yeah, I am, dude. Yeah, relax. So he goes on, and he's doing his shit, and we go backstage, and we made Sebastian, and I ran out on stage, and I put my arm around him. He said, "Did you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Get out of here, Cochino, before I tell everybody what you did." And I ran off stage, and I tried calling him a couple times for child support, but But no, he was. Look, dude, we went. I met his employers.
No.
I met his mom.
Plug your ears.
She worked at a coffee shop next to a movie theater.
I think I know where that's at too.
Yeah, they're in Edwards Cinema there, and
I know what you're talking about.
So me and my buddy went to this coffee shop because we were going to go to the movies, and she walked in with her friend, and I looked at her and I saw her, and I told my buddy that I was with her, I'm going to marry her. He said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, the blonde girl. I'm going to marry her."
Was she working?
No, she had walked in because they were there to get coffee. I guess they hung out where they fucking worked at or whatever. So, it took me about 10, 15 minutes, and I finally got them to come over. And I was talking, and I was all in all out, just saying dirty shit, And, but it piqued their interest, both her and her friend. They invited us back to her house, so me and my boy went back there. We were there till about, 3 in the fucking morning. And when I left, I asked her for her phone number. And
I already know where you live, so might as well give me your number.
Yeah, right? I don't want to wait in the bushes for you. Just give me your number.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I fucking called her the next day. I said, "Hey, I know I'm supposed to wait 3 days, but I don't fuck around like that." You know what I mean? If I find something I want to go after it. And I said, as soon as you walked in last night, I said, I knew that I wanted to hang out with you. So come pick me up. Let's go to dinner. I didn't have a car at the time. Right? So she came. She said, "All right, cool." So she came and got me and said, "All right, well, where do you want to go?" Blah, blah, blah. I went to that old bullshit. I should have known right then and there. She said, "I don't know. What do you want?"
Yeah.
So we went and she finally, "Hey, well, let's go get some tacos."
She
"Oh,
still
yeah, that
does
sounds
that.
good." Cool. She fucking went and got some $1.59 tacos and some sodas. Hung around for a little bit. So let's go to the movies. She said, "No, I don't want to go to the movies." What do you want to do? "I don't know. Let's go back to your place." Cool.
Damn.
Wow, my mom was like that. Jesus.
Told you, plug your ears.
I just didn't know. I don't give a
So
fuck.
we went back to my house. I turned on the radio, lit the one candle I had. We sat on my blow up furniture for a minute. We spent 9 years together. From that day that I took her out, or maybe she took me out because she picked me up. We spent 9 years together. We never separated. I think the only time that we were ever apart was when I went to Phoenix ahead of her to get the house and everything ready, to get that whole situated.
Wow.
But we got together and we stayed together for years.
Since we're swapping stories, my wife and I were at a buddy's house, actually before we went to Sebastian's birthday. Tell me what you think about what this teacher did. My wife and I dated while we were in high school.
Okay.
And I would ditch class to be with her. And her teacher would let me go into her class where my wife was at.
Right.
And spend that period in that class. You think that teacher was right to let me do that?
Well, it's better to have and you there at school. Oh, sorry. Better to have
another beep.
Yeah, right. Better to have you and your wife there where you're safe.
Exactly. Because that's exactly my point of view too. I was like, she was thinking, I might as well have this kid here, or else he's going to be out in the streets doing something he shouldn't be doing. If he's going to be ditching, I might as well just keep him in school.
Right.
Sometimes some people don't look at it that way.
I was going to say, I've never heard of a kid ditching and going to another class before.
I told you. Is that what you guys were talking about?
Yeah, it was just because we invited that teacher to our wedding. She came. She went to my wife's bachelorette party.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, she was real cool. I don't know if you remember her, Miss Van Houten.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She actually...
Kathy, right? Kathy Van Houten?
Helen. I think Helen.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Helena or something like that. She actually was my sister-in-law's teacher, too, when they weren't, at that grade level. So, yeah. Dude, she did the best thing in the world. I probably could find her now if I wanted to, just to say, hey, we're still together, 2 kids.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
That's cool. And you guys have been together for a really long time. What year did you guys start dating?
88.
So junior year, beginning of senior year,
senior year.
Okay.
Yes.
Better get that shit right.
I know, right? You're gonna have to beep this portion out too.
Yeah.
I'll say senior year.
Senior year, okay.
Wow, I think so. Senior year, yeah. 88, 98, 2008, 2018. 30 some odd years, kid.
Wow.
I mean, of course, we broke up a couple times after high school before we got married. But yeah, and it's like yesterday. Feels like yesterday.
What, that you broke up? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's weird that I can't say her name. It just comes naturally. Leave me alone, dude. I was about to say her name right now, too. I was like,
and you knew her before me.
yeah, dude, we grew up out this way because her family used to live right there off of Ramon, right?
Varner.
Yeah, Varner. Yeah. Down, yeah, dude, we used to. Well, what happened was we would take, they'd come and get the bus stops all right here.
Yeah.
And then they'd go all the way down Ramon.
I heard those stories.
Fuck, dude, like 2.5 hours to get to school. And you're like,
Jesus.
And then 2.5 hours on the way home when it was like 180 degrees. And you're like, fucking passing out in the bus because no AC and you can't get the fucking window down. All the little tabs were stuck.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Hot as shit, boy. Yeah, I knew her elementary school, middle school, high school.
That's a trip, kid.
Yeah. I knew a couple of her sisters. Yeah, dude. It's a small fucking city.
It's very small.
Yes, sir. So I told you, be careful around here.
Is that a threat?
Okay.
I'm asking.
I don't know. No, it's just, I'm really more of a familial warning. Yeah. All right, Sebastian, any final words?
No, I'm good.
No, you're good?
Yeah.
All right. Tony?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. All right.
What a good note to end on.
Yeah, you did say what we talk about in here just stays in here, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't want you guys beating me up as we walk out of the studio.
Oh, yeah. Tony will be talking like this on the next show. Dude, do you remember we used to do that shit to you? When this fool would get drunk, and he'd sit there like this, and we'd all walk over and flip his bottom lip.
The funny thing is I do that to my kids now.
Do that?
Especially my daughter. I walk by and I flip her lip down. And it makes that sound.
Oh, he's doing it in the thing. That's going to show up really well.
On that note, love you guys. See you real soon. Be back in a couple of days.